channel. Oh, something's in my eye. So if you are new here, welcome to the Dental League. I would love for you to subscribe, like this video, comment, anything, share it. So today I'm going to be talking about budgeting in dental school. I know that a lot of us, we come to dental school and we're like, you know, no job, you can't work. Like, that's just really not a thing. So I wanted to just talk about how I kind of like budget the money, and like how you're able to like live without working in dental school, I guess is the best way to explain it. So if you think you'll like this video, then just keep on watching. So I wrote up like some notes on my iPad, so I'm gonna be reading from here. So first things first. So when you come to dental school, you're allotted. So okay, so the school is tuition, like just tuition, and then they add in, they budget in like room and board, like miscellaneous things. So then that increases your cost of tuition. So for example, Howard, I think tuition, I don't know, I can't think, let's just say it's 80,000, and then they budget in like 12,000 for like room and board. So so aside from undergrad, graduate, you get more money because they know that you can't work. Like, the government knows that you can't work, whatever. So you get like your loan, which is like unsubsidized. So like, if you're familiar with unsubsidized loans, it's basically like you take out a loan, it accrues while you're in school, and then when you go to pay it back, it's gonna be like 10 times as much basically. And then you're offered a graduate plus loan. So the plus loan covers what the unsubsidized doesn't cover. So mainly your room and board, your other like miscellaneous things, it kind of picks up the slack from the unsubsidized. But also, I'm not a financial aid specialist, so this is just what I know that, you know, for me. So budgeting. So based off, so let's just say the tuition is 80,000, and then they write in on the budget like room and board would be 12,000. So that puts you at like 92,000. So 80,000 is gonna go towards your tuition, so that's the school's money. And then that 12,000 you're gonna get back as like a refund. So when you check your account, like, you know, August, September, you're gonna see 12,000 in your account, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, like 12,000, like that's a huge lump sum. I've never had that much money deposited in my account like at once, ever. So it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with all this money? So for me, if I take that 12,000 and let's just say they give it to me in August, that has to last until the next refund cycle, which would be like in January, February. So it seems like a lot of money, but you really have to be able to budget it and like stretch it out, so it can last, because you can't just like eat out, run around with this money unless you're living at home for free, or unless you have hella cheap rent. But that's not the case for me. So I'm just gonna be a little bit transparent in this video and talk about my own expenses. Not trying to step on anyone's toes or anything, but I live in DC. I live like not far from the school, probably like 10 minutes maybe. So my rent is very expensive. My rent is way more than I would ever pay. Thought I was gonna be paying. So I pay like around $18.50, and that includes parking. Parking is like $175. Yes, you have to pay to park at apartments in DC. It's the craziest thing ever. So my rent and everything, so my rent includes like rent, water, sewage, the parking, gas. So all that's about like $18.50. So then I have utilities. So the electric bill is separate. So I have a company that sources the electricity, so they send me a bill. Granted, my electricity bill normally isn't, I think the highest it's been is probably like $50, $55. It hasn't been anything, and that's in the winter time. And y'all know me, I'm a southern girl, so that heat be up. And then cable. So if you're a cable person or internet person, which I think everybody's gonna need internet, but cable would be, you know, the miscellaneous. I pay for cable and internet like a dummy. I don't know why, but I need to figure out something because I can't keep paying. So my cable and internet is through Xfinity, and I pay about $115 a month, and it's kind of steady, like $113 or something. That's kind of like set in a way. So basically my bills come up to like $200. I mean $2,000 a month. So that's very expensive. So let's just go back to that $12,000 like deposit you get. So if I look at the $12,000, I'm like, okay, August, September, October, November, December, January. So that's 6 months. That gives me 6 months. So in this aspect, I would have just enough for like the necessities, my bills. I wouldn't have any leftovers because I'm paying $2,000 in just bills, not including groceries, not including you know, little small things here and there, like, oh, I need a notebook, oh, I need some more pens, or I need maybe some shoes for school or something. Like, that's not included any of that. So so that's when budgeting comes in. So of course we get more than that. If my bills are $2,000, we do get more than $12,000 because clearly I couldn't make that stretch. But another thing, one helpful tip for me is buying groceries for the month. So I can probably stretch $200 for the whole month in groceries, maybe like $250 depending if I have to buy like toiletries. Everyone knows toiletries are so expensive, but I can pretty much stretch a lot of groceries because it's just me, and I buy frozen groceries. Buying frozen is also like a saver because if you buy fresh, you're gonna keep going back to the store every week. Granted, I do buy fresh fruit, so I will try to buy fruit that kind of lasts longer. So like apples, orange. I don't really like oranges, but oranges last long. Apples last long. You probably can stretch, see, like strawberries and berries and stuff, they don't last long. So I'll buy them, but I wouldn't go back to the store and rebuy them. Like I might buy them in my initial trip. I'm trying to think what other fruit. Bananas kind of last. You can get like maybe like a week. I don't eat bananas either because so yeah, so buying groceries, buying frozen groceries, meats and stuff. I know some of my classmates, their parents make frozen meals for them, and then they just put it in the freezer, and then they can come and make it whenever they want. So that's also a saver tip. Also, I do my own like maintenance, girl maintenance, I guess you can say. So I know how to wax my own body. You know, I don't wear nails while I'm in school, but if I could, I would paint my own nails. You know, I just trim them, keep them clean. Eyebrows, I don't really have eyebrows, so I don't really worry about like getting my eyebrows waxed. That's not really a thing for me. I can do my own hair. So certain things you have to kind of decide, like, am I going to be spending money trying to keep up beauty maintenance, or am I going to try to figure it out on my own? You know, buy gel kits, buy, you know, hair, watch a few YouTube videos, do something, because you're just not going to have the money to keep up maintenance that you would outside of dental school, unless you have a very cheap like budget, like, you know, bills. So let's see. Also, budgeting for me is buying a plane ticket. Being that I'm from Georgia, every time there's a break, I go home. So when I get my lump sum, I have to make sure, like, okay, I need to buy a plane ticket and pay my bills, and you know, make sure all that's set. So a tip would be to always buy my ticket pretty much once the semester starts, probably like a few weeks until the semester starting, because they'll give you a schedule and you'll get a feel for like, okay, should I leave this day, should I leave that day? And yeah, me, I'm always out. I'm like, bye, gotta go. And one thing about the DC area specifically, and this is maybe can help someone else, we're close to 3 different airports. So there's Baltimore, there's Ronald Reagan, and then there's like Dulles. So I know people like we'll switch out. We'll go look at this airport, we'll look at this airport, we'll look at this airport to see like what's the cheapest. Because at the end of the day, we're just balling on a budget. And I know a lot of people in my class, they have roommates. I personally didn't want a roommate, so I knew that I would be like on this higher budget scale versus a lower budget or a lower window. But yeah, I just had to get my own place. I couldn't. Nothing wrong with roommates, but I just rather have my own. So that's also a tip. So if you want to, of course, cut back. I know a lot of people that are paying around $1,100. I don't think anyone's paying less than that if they're splitting rooms, like a roommate, like an apartment with someone. So I think $1,100, $1,200 is usually like, and that includes everything. I'm assuming that's like everything. So yeah, that's very big difference in money, but yeah. Let's see, what else do I have? So also one thing, if you have like, this is where savings come in, especially for your first year. Savings, kind of pulling from your savings. I know I did that when I got there. And your family, friends, I know when I went off to school, you know, friends gave me money, gave me gift cards. My mom, my dad, they give me, you know, gave me some money. But I don't try to use them for money. You know, I try to use my own money unless it, like, something comes up big and I'm like, okay, I need this for school, or I need this, you know, or maybe they help me with a flight. So it's just helpful to lean on them, you know, if you can. But if not, then you can just try to just budget as best as you can. And let's see, I think that's all. Let's see, yeah. So all in all, I think it's very doable. I try to, oh, and one thing I wanted to mention, I try to eat out maybe once a week, or yeah, once a week, maybe twice. I try to save the weekends for like eating out, because sometimes you just have to eat out. You don't have time to cook or go home, or you might be stuck at school and everyone's like, let's order pizza, and you just like Venmo, Cash App the money to them. So you kind of just have to have that fluff room, and I feel like budgeting helps with that. I'm able to like splurge on some things, or I might be able to do some things that may not be like school related, or may not be you know, anything that I need, but because I want it, because I'm budgeting groceries, I'm eating at home, I'm not buying coffee, I'm not buying anything, I'm doing all that at home. So that really helps have a little pot that you can kind of dip in whenever you kind of want something. Well, I don't want to keep this video hella long than it already is, so if you have any additional questions, just drop them in the comments below. And yeah, so I will see you in the next video. Bye.